finish him off with a fire flower, they don't have to wait for that cutscene. And that's exactly where they're going to save time. So this is going to be a time saving throughout the course of the run. But we'll see if Cosmic can keep this lead. It's entirely possible. Now, I want to talk about fireworks right now. If you end a level with a 1, 3, or a 6 in the 1 second of your time in the upper right, then you end with that amount of fireworks. Now, in this particular level, oh no, Cosmic. In this particular level, if you don't slow down at all, you end the level with a 6. You see Darbian had to slow down just a little bit to avoid a 6. Andrew the same, so that they wound up with a 5 in their ones digit. If they had ended with a 6, they would have wasted a ton of time from all the fireworks. 2-2, we're headed into a water stage. You often forget that there are water stages in this game, but they do exist. And there are kind of intricacies to the water physics. If you only tap A as you're going through the water, then you'll do a taller jump. But if you hold down A, then you'll actually do a shorter jump. And there are, even though you might not have ever known that just from casual play, but it makes a huge difference in your ability to control your character in a speedrun. These little kind of currents that speed you along and slow you down, it feels like you should be able to control and gain some speed in there, but for the most part, you really can't. It's actually just kind of static the way it speeds you up and then slows you down immediately after. So Darbian does have a significant lead. Andrew G very close behind. Both of them with Fire Flower, and Cosmic staying very loyal with his small Mario strats. Oh. As we head into 2-3, there are these flying cheeps, which can be very, very annoying. There are some patterns where you need to slow down. Ooh, Darbian almost gets hit. There are some patterns where you need to slow down, but they're just going to be kind of reacting to what they see. Sometimes you can kind of get lucky with a fire shot, but basically you really just have to react. And slow down if you need to, but otherwise just run along and hope for the best. Andrew with some, oh, the swag shot there. Very, very solid. So we're headed into the next Bowser level here. Now, these beginning fire bars are actually never, ever a problem. So you're going to just see them kind of run right through, and they'll know exactly where these fire bars are. And as they go through, they're going to do this duck jump. Andrew's going to do it right now. If you mess that up, it is pretty much a definite death, but they've both manipulated 2-4 perfectly. And, oh no! We'll see if Andrew kind of refreshes his Fire Flower or if he's going to keep going along with Small Mario. Meanwhile, Cosmic actually doesn't have to deal with those crouch jumps. So there are these small periods where you don't have to really worry as Small Mario. So we're headed into 3-1 now. Now here is where I want to take the time to explain one of the most important parts about speedrunning this game. It's called the frame rule. The best way to explain this is that imagine at the end of every Mario level, there is a bus waiting to take Mario to the next level. Now this departs the station, or the end of the level, every 21 frames. So if you miss this bus by 1 frame, you have to wait another 20 frames for the bus to actually leave. Whereas if you make the bus right at 1 frame immediately before it leaves, you've barely saved that frame rule. You've barely saved that. Those 21 frames equate to 1/3 of a second. So these 1/3 of seconds add up, especially when you're speedrunning and going for the record. And even in a run like this, these little additions do add up, absolutely. So they're all in 3-2 right now. Darbian finishing it up, Andrew halfway through, closing it out, and then Cosmic in the middle as well. So as we go into 3-3, this is a bit of a funny thing. So Darbian tells me, I was asking him to explain this game to me. Darbian tells me that the music of this level adds up, was programmed to kind of go along with when you collect the coins. This sounded really fishy to me, so I asked him if I could get a source on that, and Darbian says, I'll try to give my best Darbian impression. Darbian says, no, you can't. Community consensus. And that's all I had to go off of. Community consensus? Yeah, okay. So in 3-4, I want to talk about why the frame rules do matter. When you're going for a run, you're going to be performing so well that you know exactly what frame rule you're on. You know if you're 1/3 behind, if you're 2/3 of a second behind, a full second behind, you know all of these little things. And so you know all luck in this game is dependent on when you enter a particular level. So if you know what frame rule you're on, headed into 3-4, you know exactly kind of where the potaboos are and all the different little, oh man, you know where all the different kind of little luck factors are. Now in 4-1, I want to talk about the flagpole glitch now. We'll see if Darbian goes for it. The flagpole glitch is very interesting. Essentially, you need to, let's see if he gets it here, and then I'll explain it. Oh, not quite. Andrew's going to be going for it, we'll see. But the flagpole glitch is a big deal. This is what was kind of waiting for everyone to be able to get the 456. Oh, not quite. So the deal is, if you hit that block the flag is on at just the right time, at just the right point, from just the right pixel, all these things chain together, and you actually kind of, you just barely clip out, you hit into the kind of block, and you don't actually have to wait for the flag to descend. You just kind of get bonked out to the other side, and you just continue along, and you don't have to wait for that flag. It's interesting because I know how many times, as you guys are watching this, I know how many questions you're asking in terms of, why don't they just jump to the bottom of the flagpole? Why don't they just kind of, why do they have to jump at the top? Why don't they just jump to the bottom? You have to wait for that flag to descend no matter what. So because you accelerate faster going backwards in this game than going forwards, like facing backwards and facing forwards, if you hit the flagpole at its apex, then you're actually, when you descend to the bottom of the flagpole, you're higher up on that flag than you would be normally. Like, look at Darby in there and watch Andrew as he finishes. They're going to hit this flag in the middle, and they're going to thus kind of fall to the bottom of the flag. But if you hit the top of the flagpole, you're higher up on the flag. So you're accelerating in the air backwards a longer period of time, and thus you travel from the flag to the castle more quickly. It's these small things which really matter. So we're in 4-4 now. 4-4 is a maze level. And obviously they know exactly where to go, but, oh, Andrew goes for a clip, doesn't quite get it. But these little things could potentially add up. But yeah, this maze level, it's interesting because if you were doing this maze level yourself, you might accidentally just kind of be taking the right path, but not be headed the right way. It just kind of loops you consecutively anyway. The reason that is actually because if you're in the air at the time where it tries to calculate kind of if it should loop you or if it should allow you to continue moving on, if you're in the air during, like, at that point in the level, then it doesn't care. It might just loop the level for you anyway. And so in those maze levels, they actually don't, they try to avoid jumping because of that. So in 5-2, that cannon at the beginning, if you get unlucky, it can shoot you right in the face. And so Darbian got lucky there. Andrew is about to head into 5-2. We'll see if he gets lucky. And it takes your power up, which means you actually need to take that extra time. Oh, Andrew plays it safe. I don't blame him. But I don't blame him because if you get your power up taken, you go straight to being Small Mario, and you have to get the mushroom again, the fire flower again. It takes a lot of time. Meanwhile, if you don't get if you have the fire flower, you can just plow through these Hammer Bros with not a care in the world. Cosmic staying so loyal to his Small Mario strats, and honestly, I want to take a moment to just say how insane that is, because having a fire flower just allows you such kind of an extra little kind of buffer and extra safety, just because you can burn all these fire flower or all these Hammer Bros or piranha plants that are in your way. And Cosmic says no. I want to take every chance I can get. Oh no! With oh man. So Andrew is now kind of just behind Darbian. As you head into this level, unlike a previous level, you actually don't necessarily know where the fire bars are. Because 5-3 and 5-4, it's a little known fact, but there are, oh, Darbian squats right underneath. Meanwhile, Andrew takes a hit and is going to have to recollect that fire flower if he so chooses. One thing to say about Bowser, if you're watching him carefully, if you see him jump in the air and move forward, oh man, if you see Bowser jump in the air and move forward, you know that you can just kind of run right under him. Meanwhile, if he kind of wavers back and forth or moves back at all, then you are going to potentially either want to take a huge risk or in jumping over him, or else just wait for him to jump again. Darbian with a pretty solid lead right now. Just finishing up 6-1 and heading into 6-2. Um, so 6-2 is especially a level. Oh, one little. That's right. There's one. You get one firework. It doesn't lose any time. So just appreciate the little pew that Cosmic gets here. Um, so 6-2, it's actually a lot easier headed in here with Fire Flower just because of all the Piranha Plants. And this is another level where you're going to want to slow down to avoid getting a 3 on the clock. So in 6-3, we're headed into 6-3 now. You're going to actually see a little bit of variance in strategies here. It's very subtle, but these things all really add up. Darbian, I believe, actually takes... Oh! Cosmic takes a death. Oh, Andrew's going to get a couple pew-pew-pews. So Darbian actually takes kind of a higher route here, whereas